Kaizer Chiefs are linked with signing Jaeden Rhodes and they are willing to offer a crazy amount of money by their standards. Also going to talk about the situation of Eren Castillo and why he ended up deciding to leave Kaizer Chiefs. We will also talk about Doni Jansen, what are the next steps for him, and of course, Dillon Sheppard joining Nabi's technical team. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 60,000 subscribers before the season starts. It's free to subscribe, it's free to like, and it doesn't take that much time. It takes you shorter than me explaining why you need to subscribe. Anyways, thank you for subscribing. So let's start with Jaeden Rhodes. So for those of you who somehow don't know who this player is, Jaeden Rhodes is an attacking midfielder, right winger, left winger, but mostly he's a midfielder, attacking midfielder who was playing for Cape Town Spurs. This previous season, he played 24 matches and he only scored 1 goal. Obviously, when I say those numbers, people go crazy like, what? Yeah, but he's one of those players that you watch and you go, there's a lot of potential there. And he's still only 22 by South African standards. You're still young at that age. And under proper coaching, you could really become problematic. And we've seen him, we've seen those moments where you can see that this one, under a proper coach, he can be a much better player. And in fact, he has been a good player. And that is why Kaizer Chiefs are linked with signing him. But not just Chiefs, Amazulu have inquired about him. They haven't offered him anything. Also, Orlando Pirates are also mentioned there. Now, obviously, this is going to come to some people as, but Cape Town City does not usually sell. But they might have to, you see, because they are in Motsepe Foundation. And down there, you cannot afford to pay all the players. And we've already seen them offloading their big hitters. About Tulani Serrero, about Darren Kidd. All of these guys were on higher salaries. And Abo Rhodes, there are even talks from Itiski Times. I saw a report by Osnetemba Makongo that they were even offering multiple players to Sundowns for 60 million because they are trying to offload as many players as they possibly can. So this is also a huge possibility for Chiefs to sign him. And there are even talks that Kaizer Chiefs are preparing an offer around 10 million rands. Now, I will just say this while we're here. This is a report from La Duma, right? So, take it with a pinch of salt. But I could see why Kaizer Chiefs might want to get someone who is also going to be versatile. Because also remember, the thing of Velepai might be problematic because Cape Town Spurs are fighting for him to join the Chiefs. In fact, they are fighting for all of their players to leave. The players want to leave because of the reasons that we talked about yesterday. So, yeah, this is something that we have to keep an eye on and see what happens. But we already know what's happening with Eren Castillo. So Eren Castillo is leaving Kaizer Chiefs, and we already know that. But one thing that I was shocked, I thought that Chiefs extended his contract by 1 year. But as it turns out, they had given him a 2-year extension on his contract. I do not understand how you get from extending someone's contract by 2 years to mutually agreeing to let him go. This to me does not make any sense because Castillo is a different profile of a midfielder to all the midfielders that we have at Kaizer Chiefs. Right now, more than any other midfielder at Chiefs, he's the one who offers a goal threat that we know of because we haven't watched Duchisley play in any competitive match. But even if it's just him and Sereno, it's just going to be two people. But what makes Castillo even more special is the fact that he comes much deeper. He's like a 6. You look at him as a 6, but he's an 8 because he goes box to box. And then he arrives late in the box and then he scores a goal. And he's physical. You're going to need that physique in Africa. But somehow Chiefs then let him go. And his agent actually said, he said this, the new coach made it difficult for us to continue being part of the project. I do not know how, because when I read that, it wasn't elaborated how Nabi made it difficult for them. Because just before he got injured, Castillo was starting to get some game time. Then he got injured. And then after the injury, he didn't have a good game. I remember we were playing against Richards Bay. He didn't perform at all. And I'm thinking for the coach to bench him, it would be because he did not play that well. But now I don't understand what they mean by the new coach is not making it easier for them. So that's just interesting. So, yeah. What do you guys think about Indaba Castillo? Because now the sad thing that also happened is last year Kaizer Chiefs sent last season, they sent Doni Jansen, a very promising young player, to SuperSport United. And I was like, yeah, this is good. He's going to play under Gavin Hunt, who has no choice but to play the young stars, because right now SuperSport are selling everyone and their only hope was for them to play the young players. Only for him to go and sit on the bench. And now there are talks that the only thing that might be possible for him is for him to go to a Mutsepe Foundation team and play there in the lower division. And we know the story. Usually when players of Kaizer Chiefs go out on a loan, they don't come back to Chiefs. And I think that is why Chiefs have not been one of those teams that send a lot of players out on a loan, because they know that it's pointless for them to send a player on a loan and continue playing their salary, knowing very well that that player is not going to benefit them because they are going to eventually leave. So that's the situation that we find ourselves with, which then brings us to Dillon Sheppard. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, why? Do make sure to subscribe. So Dillon Sheppard, there are talks and reports that Kaizer Chiefs are finalizing the, what's the word? Promoting Dillon Sheppard, if you will, to the senior team and have him be part of Nabi's technical team. My question is why? Like, wasn't it clear from last season that Nabi wanted that technical team that he has right now to work with? Why give him people now? Like, if there's anything that Nabi proved is that he can win, and he did win as a cup last season, and yes, the league was not so great, but all of the other coaches were not so great in the league either. Only one who was okay in the league was Ensmint Dorp, who then like ran out of ideas halfway through the season. That's why we couldn't finish the season the way we started, because the ideas were gone. So why would you now want to change something that worked for Nabi and that he clearly wanted it to be that way? Because people will say that, oh, Mpilo, but if you bring Sheppard, he knows Chiefs very well, he's been around, he's familiar with the current players. And that is true, because if you think of Abohlongwane, if you think of Omabaso from the development, Sheppard might be helpful with integrating the players from a development. Sheppard might be good with the younger players, because remember, Nabi, as much as he might want to work with the younger players, but also he also wants to work with the senior players and might want to treat the younger players and senior players, because, you know, they are in the senior team. So having someone who's familiar with that, like Sheppard, might be helpful to them. But then at the same time, Sheppard was there when Chiefs were failing in the past. Sheppard was there when he was coaching with Zwane, and it now seems like we're going backwards now, because we have put him in that position. It did not work. So why are we taking him back and putting him in that position again? It just feels like we are doing this thing that every other PSL team is doing, which is rotating coaches around. But what do you guys think? You will let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals al